Hello everyone, this is Andrea from Lacuna Coil and you're watching Morro.com.
Ain't slowing down, take your place on the firing line. You'll be burning. Let the fire.
Well, when we grew up, we were a lot into all the metal bands. Like we started with the classics like Iron Maiden, AC/DC, and Metallica, and Slayer, and Megadeth. Then the more we were growing up, the more we got into also different kinds of rock music like hardcore and punk rock music, as well as more dark type of metal, like especially in the early 90s when we started the idea of this band. We were inspired by bands like Paradise Lost and Typo Negative and Tiamat, which kind of we tried to sound like those bands, the bands that we really liked, the bands that inspired the very beginning of this band. Then I think the more we've been moving and the more we've been learning and making records, the more we've been learning how to contaminate our sound with those different influences. And now today I can say we're really influenced by a lot of things, not only music, as very often it is also images and movies and sceneries that you can imagine and reproduce. So there is a widespread spectrum of influences today. I think we've always been the most upfront of all these bands, because I think we always try to change a little bit our style, contaminate it with different elements every record, and I think a lot of bands have been follow what we've done. I think there are 3 or 4 bands that have been generating this kind of style, which are probably us and Nightwish and Within Temptation and maybe some other bands that now they're not there anymore, like Theater of Tragedy or The Gathering. But definitely there has been a lot of other bands coming out of this that follow what we've done in the beginning, us and those bands. So I think I see us as a more experimental band in this kind of genre compared to other bands which are more symphonic or more poppy sometimes. We kind of went a lot of different ways. That's why probably we're also more successful in places like America or UK, because those are places where it's a bit more modern. Metal is going well, The title, we want a title that represents the style of the music, and the music has been written in a very dark time of our life. The past couple of years we went through some negative moments in the personal life, like somebody split with his girlfriend, somebody bought a house, somebody and some relatives died, so it was nothing that doesn't happen. It happens to everybody, but when a lot of stuff negative comes together, it creates a little negative mood that we wanted to use in our advantage to transform it into some more powerful outcome, like the new record. So it was important for us to have this passage from darkness, and instead of going down and going depressing because we had some negative, just use this negative and almost enjoy it and use it as a creative tool for the album. So the title Dark and Adrenaline are 2 words that are either describing the darkness we were coming from, but also the adrenaline we were producing with this darkness. So it fits very well the idea of a very heavy and dark album, of course. We took around 3-4 months to write the music for the album, and we've done it, like Mark, the bass player, has been the most responsible for the music. He's been writing a lot of material, and then we pass it to me and Christina, and we've been working all the vocals separately, and then we all met together in Marco's house, where he has a little basement where he has a little studio, and we've been working together every day for like 3 months and finish all the songs, at least all the demos for the songs. Then the producers step in, and we did a couple of weeks with him listening to the songs and arranging the structure of the song, working a little bit of the lyrics, and then went to the practice room with the musician to fix a bit of the arrangement. Then we've been going for a month in Milan, in a studio, a very nice vintage studio in Milan with a lot of vintage equipment, and record all the music there. And then me, Christina and Marco, we've been going to LA for 3 weeks to record all the vocals and all the final arrangement on the keyboards, and then back to Milan for the mixing and the mastering. So basically it took probably all together 6-7 months between the writing and the finishing product. But I think it's been a very interesting process because we've been doing it in Europe and in America. It helped a lot the vibe of the record, I think. we've done Shallow Life and this new Dark Adrenaline with him. And because we worked with him again because we thought that we had a very great relationship on Shallow Life, and we wanted to push it a bit further because now we know him a little better. He knows us better, so he could really reach a great result together because we know where he is really important and where we're gonna go somewhere else. So it was very nice to have again him on board, and we had another time a lot of fun recording with him, and I think the result is a very spontaneous album for us, very energetic, very dark in a way, but also very well produced, like very complete, I think.
I want to say it now, 'cause I don't believe in tomorrow.
Some of the songs, for example, there's a song called Against You, which has been inspired by all the uprising we've been seeing in North Africa, all these people that is going on the internet and see all the freedom that there is, and then start to riot and to change their life and to fight and to sometimes even die for their reason, for their topics. And those has been very inspiring because today in our society not many people riot anymore, not many people go against the power or against the majority. So it is important for us that we live in a very kind of mellow down civilization where everybody has his little vacation, his little car, his little TV, so he doesn't really have a reason to go against the system or against. It is important to stand for your rights and to sometimes don't accept the situation just like it is. Of course, we don't probably need to riot or to kill somebody because we live in a more civilized kind of civilization. But we surely need to stand up for our reasons, and that has been very inspiring. It's not a political song because we don't say this is right, this is wrong, or vote for this or vote for that. It's been inspiring the fact that people has been able to go and do that and change their life and risk because they take big chances. Sometimes they died for it, but it's been a very inspiring thing. Then we have a song, for example, like My Spirit, the last of the CD, which has been dedicated to Pete Steele from Typo Negative, which was a very close friend of us and a band that has been inspiring us when we begin our career. And he died last year, so Marco basically wrote the song the night after he knew that Pete died, and he dedicated the song to him. It was very spontaneous and very natural, and the song came out just because of the very terrible news that we had, and it was one of the first time we actually cried for somebody that is not one of your relatives or a deep friend of you that you see every day. It was somebody that we met, we toured with, and we were still in touch, but not seeing him every day. But it was such a sad news for us that it really inspired us, and we wanted to dedicate this song to him. And the lyrics are not completely negative. They're describing the situation, but they're kind of saying, okay, now your spirit is free, and you can we will always remember you for all your legacy, for the joy you've brought us, the fact that you have taught us a lot with your music. You have communicated a lot to us with your music. So we decided to dedicate that song to him. So every song has a different theme.
Feel the distance, even if you're closing in. I cannot hide the...
We will first be in the US in January because that's where the album comes out, and we have a big tour lined up with Megadeth and Motorhead and Volbeat. And then we're gonna do a little South America since we're there, and then we're gonna be back to Europe in May. So hopefully we're gonna do festival season first, maybe come here in France for a festival, and then in October it's gonna be headlining in Europe, and surely France will be included, of course.
I'm not afraid to lose. I'm not gonna hide. I'm leaving.
I can say to the French audience that we hope to come back very soon and play some shows, and I hope you will enjoy the new album, and we want to see you at the shows, and it's gonna be great, and hopefully we play more in France because in the past we kind of just came for one big show in Paris and that's it, so we hope we can do maybe more shows and be here longer than the usual.